I see you looking
Oh,
at. I see
oh,
where
you
it's
don't
at
see
when
the
you go
count.
live.
Oh, okay, but you don't see the countdown.
No, I ain't see the countdown.
Okay.
But it's all good anyway. Welcome back, family. To everybody that tap in now and later. Appreciate y'all. Another High Vibe Sunday with the High Vibe Tribe. Look like we might have the goddesses out today. One of them might tap in a little bit later, but it's all love.
Yes,
We got an
yes.
interesting topic.
Definitely
Excuse me,
got.
y'all. I'm trying to get my protein in there. But yeah, did you was getting ready to say something, bro?
No, no, I was just agreeing with you. Yes, yes. Like you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, to be honest with y'all, what inspired this topic for today was a video I just seen on Instagram. This lady I just happened to come across. I never seen her before until today, ironically. And she was just talking about how chosen ones are light years ahead of their time. And a lot of the times, when you the black sheep of the family, it's certain things that you see or realize that everybody else don't see. And you might start to beat yourself up a little bit. Or, well, why am I the only person that see it? And stuff like that. It's just you ahead of your time. You know what I'm saying? Your mentality is different. So your focus, like she said in the video, um, God talk to you different. So of course,
Mm,
you gonna do things differently. You know,
mm. Facts, facts, facts.
your habits are different. A lot of people they tuning in to bad girls clubs and guys they tuning in to sports all day long. You tuning in
Mm-hmm.
to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You meditating, you going within, you listening to the voice from God. So
Right.
yeah, you're gonna be you know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's super resonated with me because and then she goes on to talk about how sometimes you gotta kind of we talked about this a couple weeks ago. How sometimes you gotta kind of turn it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
because you don't wanna you wanna kind of maneuver through, you wanna blend in, you don't wanna have to explain yourself all the time or explain, you just kind of wanna just get in and out, especially if you're in a certain situation where you just maybe visiting or just want to hang out for a couple hours. Sometimes you just want to get in and out and you don't want to have to explain all these things, you know. I seen another video of a sister in tears, bro. She was in tears, God, because she was like, why is it like this? Why is it that like she was like, man, I'll be trying to dumb it down. I'll be trying to dress less attractive and not look so pretty. And it's just like I've been to multiple jobs and my bosses they want to try to talk down on me and show me that they in charge. It's like you already got a higher status than me in this job. Why are you
Oh,
so intimidated? And it's that inner light.
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Peace to the goddess. She tapped in. And
Peace, peace, Queen.
Peace, peace.
peace. And it's just that inner light that she had. I could resonate with that video as well. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's why a lot of times I try to stay out the way because I know I really want to move outside. I really want to move around in peace and love. And sometimes people will just try to attack you just for being in that blissful energy. They can't stand it because they don't have it.
Right.
So it touched me when I seen that video. I mean, she was in tears, y'all. Just like,
Mm,
why is it like this? It's that inner light. You
mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? It's because again, back to the title, she's ahead of her time. See, all of us that's on this type of time, we think we imagining and working towards this 5D reality. You know what I'm saying? Where it is blissful. So she ahead of her time, you
Yeah.
know?
Facts. And brother, that was such a great intro to the title. And shout out to Ryan Red I hope I'm not pronouncing your name wrong. Ryan, I'm gonna just say Ryan Reddy. I apologize if I don't pronounce your name properly, but shout out to Ryan Reddy said amen. You know, because
That's right.
you spoke some straight facts, bro. You know, and it's amazing how we just sometimes we don't see our light until something drastic happens in our life. You know, sometimes, and sometimes, you got 8-year olds who know they light and they was born to know. And I find it interesting that you mentioned, the woman that was in tears. It's like when you don't know what's going on or why this is that way, it can stray you a little bit to the point where you feel a little overwhelmed. You feel the pain from dealing with those people until you start to understand your light a little more. And that's why, like, the way the tribe approaches things is different because we know that we're walking in a different space. So it's like we don't have to let it affect us anymore. It only affects us when we aren't walking in our purpose, when we're not shining that light, regardless of who don't like it, or like you said, avoiding outside sometimes. Like your gut tells you, like, nah, I'm gonna stay in for the day, and I'm gonna study up on this, or I'm gonna read this book, or I'm gonna do some meditation or whatever. I'm not gonna go outside today, even though it's a beautiful day outside. I've found myself doing that quite a few times. So if that's what you got
Mm-hmm.
to do, sometimes you got to do it, and it's worth it for your own self and your own well-being, and chosen ones, y'all got to remember that. And that's why we're doing this title. Y'all got to remember that you are just ahead of your time. When you're talking about something that somebody else don't understand, or you mentioning something that you can clearly see that this is why something is happening, and that's why it's happening, but to everybody else, they have a different opinion. But most of them, like you said, you mentioned, people are tuning into things like Kardashians and watching
Mm-hmm.
sports, and you're watching other people live out their dream. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
come to realize. I love sports. Now, don't get me wrong. If the opportunity presents itself and I'm feeling up to it, and I, might want to go to a baseball game or a football game or like an actual game and physically be there, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. Or I might watch the Super Bowl, but I haven't watched all season because I'm focused on building my own and chasing my own dream. You know what I mean? Building my own life. So a lot of times we watching these other people live out their dreams, and we're not focused on our own dream and not realizing that we are a chosen one.
Mm-hmm. Facts, facts. Yeah, it was something I was just getting ready to say. I had lost my train of thought just that quick. Damn.
So, what is a chosen one?
Well, so that's a good question, Goddess. Uh, a lot of people have their own definition of it, but for me personally, the way I view a chosen one is a person that was chosen by whoever. They God, ancestor, source, whatever they want to call it. To me, a chosen one is someone that was chosen to kind of see beyond the illusions that were placed upon us. Because I think that the general mindset, everybody is kind of, we all kind of trained and raised to kind of have the same mindset. So to me, a chosen one is one that can kind of see beyond those illusions. All the ones that have been put in place for us.
Oh, okay. I like how you describe that phrase in the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that. Because I don't consider myself a chosen one. So I just wanted to know.
Okay.
I don't consider myself a chosen one, but I do like when you describe it like that. I feel more so like what they say, many are chosen, but only few are called, right?
Exactly.
And in a
Right.
sense, it's just us deciding to use our free will to go against, like you said, that illusion or that delusion that we were put into, right? Which everyone has that power to do so, but it's up to them to decide if that's the path that they want to take.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So I like
Because
how you described that. That makes sense.
okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Hmm.
And another reason that really make me look at it like that because, like you said, we a lot of people is kind of exposed to this information. But what makes people like us gravitate towards it so much more than everybody else? And with that being said, I believe it's because we've been handpicked by something or somebody that this is gonna be your mission, this is gonna be your purpose. This is why this is why we so passionate about it. This is why we take it so much more serious than everybody else. Because I can expose somebody to the same video that I just seen, and it'll blow my mind. And I'll show it to somebody else, and they like, you know what I'm saying? So what makes that difference? Well, you know what I mean?
Right. So I always have this saying that I say, God is in me as me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe God is in all of us as us, but it's up to us to decide. Remember, we got that angel and that low vibrational, what they could construe it as the devil on one shoulder. So for me, when we hear that chosen, it's just us choosing to decide to resonate with God, that God calling in us higher than that low vibrational calling or that ego that's really pulling us away from God and listening to God and aligning with God. So it's just it's us more being more of that on that vibration where we already been on that vibration of the low scale, and we know that that doesn't sit right with who we are because something in us is telling us that we're here for greater. And it's just us deciding to go towards greater, and we know that greater is going to go against everything that people decided for us what was greater or greatness.
Mm.
So I feel like it's just us resonating more with God, more like more on the God side, more on that DNA that's within us that we're supposed to be empowered more within ourselves. So it's kind of like we empowering us.
So with that being said, do you think that a so-called chosen ones that do feel like or do resonate with this message that we talking about right now of being ahead of your time, do you think that that's has something to do with having an old soul? Because me personally, 100%, I believe I got an old soul, 100%, and
Well,
I've
that's
been
the
told
thing.
that.
Like hearing you say that, I mean, I've been told that too. But when we know
Mm-hmm.
that energy doesn't die, we will all kind of be technically old souls, right?
Mm.
Old energetic cords, old fields, because we all we do is transfer vessels. Our energy doesn't die, right? But in a sense, I guess when I hear you say that old souls, for me, it's like I guess maybe we learned a lot in our other journey that we came to this point here where we're more present in what we gained from those other lifetimes.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just picking back up from there because we were so dedicated then in those timelines. So now we're going into things that just reminding us of where we've been and what our purpose was, where we stopped at in that last lifetime, maybe, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely
That's
makes
just a
sense. Cause
perspective. Yeah. Like, because when we hear old souls, I mean, technically we all kind of old souls, right?
Yeah.
In a sense, right? I don't know, right?
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I be trying to think about. My bad to cut you out, brother, because they say that right. It's some
Mm-hmm.
old souls, but how do the new souls come in? How do we know the new souls? You know what I'm saying? If so many people have reincarnated or whatnot. So I'll be trying to figure that out myself.
So then I hear everything is energy. So new to old with energy is that some people just never left that certain energy field,
Mm.
right? They never left this certain caliber, this energy field. With our energy, let's say it's 1 to 100. You have those souls that we would consider younger souls still stuck at the energy level of 5 or 6 or 7. And we up here at 89, 90, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how we watch people and they be like, oh, age is nothing but a number. And you look at them and you can
Mm-hmm.
tell age is nothing but a number because they stuck in their ways. They're stuck on that energy
Mm.
field and that energy source.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, in a sense, looking at it in energy wise, maybe that's what it is. Their mind never grew, their concept never grew, their perception, their perceiving, their energy never flourished because they were stuck literally where they were at.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of died, when they left those vessels. That's where they're going to go back to begin.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I find myself sitting back meditating sometimes, just feeling like I've been there, done that before. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I found myself just like not being impressed with a lot of stuff that I feel like other people are impressed with. You know what I'm saying? It's just whatever. But that's
Yeah,
because I feel like I've been there, done that.
because you have. Like, we really have. Everything that's happening, we've already done. So again, we graduated. Now it's like we're in a different class. And sometimes we're going to have those remembrances of that last class we took, or those different lifetimes we experienced, because we have been here and done that.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Mm-hmm.
we came here as, like you would say, this old soul or this higher vibration to now go higher.
Mm.
Facts.
Right? That's the journey, in a sense, to always go higher than where you left it, to always gain more than where we left our last vessel, in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Makes a
Yeah, I
lot of
agree.
sense.
So
Makes a lot of sense.
I want to ask y'all about this too, because I've seen a couple of different videos of people just kind of having a hard time right now with realizing that the matrix that we in. Um, I think we kind of talked about this before, but I'm up for a refresher because I deal with this myself. You know, still having to get up and maneuver through this matrix, knowing that again ahead of our time, knowing that it's all BS. It's all like it's all man made. It's all constructed. You know what I'm saying? How do y'all keep y'all sanity? Knowing what we know, knowing it's all fake, it's all BS, but we still gotta kind of maneuver through it in order to get out of it or whatever, you know. Because to everybody else is, this is normal, this is regular, this is how it's supposed to be. But people like us, we know
Mm-hmm.
we're slightly ahead of the curve. I do think that it's a point of time where everybody's gonna realize, like, yeah, we all been lied to, this all been BS. But until we get to that point, what do we do?
Mm.
Uh, for me, it's like, until we get to that point where the game is over, because the point is the game is over. When we all
Mm-hmm.
wake up, then this whole veil breaks, right? But in the meantime
Mm-hmm.
of the veil breaking, you still have to play the game, and you have to play it with the knowledge you have and apply it accordingly,
Mm.
Okay, okay.
right? You
Mm-hmm.
gain this knowledge to be able to move better and to put yourself in a better position while you're playing the game, right? If
Mm-hmm.
we could just end the game, then that's cool too, but we still have to play through it to get to the end. It's like the video games, when we sit there and we got to keep going through the level, then we get to the big man and we got to beat the big man. Now game over, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Like, we learned what we needed. We learned our moves. We learned what doors to go through, what doors not to go through. We know how to operate when we go through those doors until we get to the end of it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
you
Okay,
know
okay.
so you take that, because, to be honest, it's still a game, because even with the knowledge we gained, they want to see how do we perform and how is our character being carried while we play the game, now knowing what we do know,
Mm.
Facts, facts, facts.
right? So we still mastering our piece. Like, we'll sit here, and I had this story the other day. It's like, dang, I could say I'm at peace. I could say, oh, I know how to do this and that, but do I? Because I'm also secluded. I secluded myself from everyone to be where I'm at. So I still have to go outside. And when I get outside, I have to now be tested to see that everything that I said I'm good at, because now I have to see if I'm good at it around all these other energies.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So you didn't really get past that game or that level until you are good at it in any energetic field you walk in.
Mm.
So that's a test and a test of its own as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So a lot of people will say they are at peace and I'm not worrying about nothing, but no, you can't say that until you're out there in the energetic field with a bunch of chaotic energy, and you can still walk in that peace you say you have gained.
Mm. Facts.
And when you can stay at peace with all the challenges that you face.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because that's how you convert the energy. That's how you transform the energy. That's how you can use that energy and those challenges to still work for you.
And you know what, Empress, that's exactly, that was my point of view that I was going to mention was, I honestly don't just say I'm like at peace. I know that what I like to say is I'm healing, I'm getting better. And I talk about my ego a lot, because I really believe and think, and I know that I got my ego in check better than I'd had it before in the past, right? And it's because I do the mirror living thing, I do that walking mirror thing, and I'm constantly looking at myself and saying, what can I do to change? Because it's easy to point at somebody else and say, you not doing this, or you not doing that, or to criticize somebody else, but are you capable of pointing that high power perception at yourself? Most people are not ready to do that. Most people won't do that, right? So when I look at like this past Wednesday, we got smacked, right? And it was because dude was breaking the law that, in this state and in 35 other states, it's against the law to back out of anywhere, driveway, parking space, anywhere. But you can't really see as much when you're pulling out frontwards than you can backwards, right? So a lot of people don't realize when you're pulling out backwards, you can't see as much than when you're pulling out frontways. You got a panoramic view from the front of the vehicle. You can see a lot more, which is why that law is in place. But we got smacked. My son didn't really notice it. I barely noticed it. The wife called out and said, "Oh my God, this guy." And then boom, we get hit. Now, of course, you know how my ego is. My ego's talking like, man, you got to tell him how goofy he is, how stupid he was, how dangerous he's being, and this, that, and the third, right? And normally I would turn that into a teaching moment, say, it's best to pull out front ways, man, back into parking spaces or your driveway or whatever, so you can avoid this. But that wasn't my concern. My concern was, are you okay? He got out the car before I could. I rolled my window down. He got out the car and said, "Are you okay? Are you all right? Everything all right?" And that was my main concern at the onset of everything. And I checked the car first, make sure wife and the kid was all right. Y'all okay? And Junebug didn't even realize anything was going on. So he's good, right? And when I got out and I was like, okay, no damage. I was like, you got any damage? He's like, no, I don't see nothing. Just this little scratch right here. And I said, little scratch right there. I said, hey, listen, man. You okay? You sure you okay? Because we okay. My family's okay. I'm okay. He was like, yeah, no, I'm fine, man. And he just kept apologizing, right? And I was like, no worries, man. I said, there's no need to get the insurance companies involved because both of our premiums are going to go up. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact you can't deny. Both of your premiums go. It don't matter who's at fault. A lot of people don't realize this. And if it's something that doesn't need fixing, like I don't care if you scratch my bumper. You know, our car gets hit all the time out here. People parking, and people come to the door. You know, oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, listen, man, you ain't even damaged it. It's not even damaged. There ain't even a crack in the bumper. Might be a little bit of paint transfer or whatever, but it wipes right off. You know, it was like, I'm not about to raise my premium and they jacking all the prices up and got us going, you know what I mean, going crazy over this insurance to begin with. A lot of other people, low vibrational people, would have used that as oh, I'm about to get paid. I'm not going to get my car fixed, but I'm going to get it appraised. They're going to send me a check and I'm going to spend the money and not get the car fixed. Hey, I know that scam. You know what I'm saying? But you don't realize your premium goes up next year when you go and get your insurance again. For next year, it's gone up quite a bit. And people don't realize that. And if you don't need, like, okay, my tire's hanging off, my lights, you know what I'm saying, I'm not able to use my vehicle, I'll get pulled over because my light is broken or whatever, something like that. Okay, I got to get this fixed. But if it ain't nothing I got to fix, you know what I mean, it ain't broke, then why try to fix it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my point of view on it.
Facts. I want to shout out everybody in the chat, but I want to give a special shout out to Anthony Samir. That's how you know we rise and finally when you start getting haters in the comments. That's how you know you starting to go somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to shout out to that brother, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. I just feel like this can go. This conversation can go a couple of different ways because I don't want to backtrack because we talked about it before, but we gonna backtrack sometimes because these things have to be like repetition, you know. Even when it boils down to just the quality of food and knowing how to take care of yourself a little bit more properly. I feel like that's kind of being ahead of your time. Because again, people know, right? But they don't want to take those steps, I guess. But I feel like that's still to put you kind of ahead of the curve when you just know to take the time out and shoot, just look at the labels. You know what I'm saying? And some of this stuff. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a few things.
You know, it's interesting, brother. You said like backtracking and repetition, right? Repetition is important. And like we may backtrack on a couple of different topics, like just to kind of reiterate the point of the topic we're speaking about today. And I don't look at it as really backtracking, but repetition is needed because how many times did you have to learn your timetables in school? How many times did you have to do your ABCs before you got it? You see what I'm saying? How many times did you have to actually work out your homework and your problems or whatever you were doing and before you actually got it and understood it? Now you can work the problem out yourself. So your teacher may have not ever given you 99 times 2001, but you know how to do it because you were taught the basics. So all you do is apply the basics and you just count a little bit higher, right? So repetition is important. And how many, you're not going to go to the gym one time and then have a God figure body. It's just not going to happen. Repetition is important. And a lot of people don't remember, they don't want to remember that. They want that, they have that microwave mentality. I want it right now. You know, I'm going to throw a hot pocket in the microwave and it's going to be done in a minute or 2 minutes. Whereas you and I, we're going to take our time. We're going to prep. We're going to chop up our vegetables, this, that, and the third. We're going to marinate overnight or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm gonna soak my beans because I don't want the canned beans because God, you know what I mean? God only knows what they putting in there, right? So repetition is absolutely important and is needed.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because we got to do our part in raising this consciousness, and um, we're gonna talk about these things until the job is done. You know, till the job is done.
Facts.
But I can't say that we rise, and I see it every day. I see it every day, even if it's just one person that I see that's starting to lift the veil. Starting to realize the illusions.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
And that being said, if y'all don't mind, I'd like to play this first video that kind of speaks on a little bit about what we're talking about. But he's saying something a little bit. It's the same but different because he has his own perspective, right? And everybody has their own perspective. And this is
Mm-hmm.
how we really grow is by comparing perspectives, not comparing like, oh, I'm better than you or mine's is better than yours, but to understand how this person thinks versus how that person thinks is really how we're gonna grow.
Mm-hmm. Still sharpening steel.
Facts.
What happened in your past is not nearly as important as what is in your future. Chosen when God said, don't worry about the past. Keep moving forward. Your future is bright, baby. Keep going. Positive Ken.
So it's a little quick one, but he definitely he made a point when he said, it's about your future. It's not, a lot of people stuck in the past. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people stuck in the past. I know I was there.
I was just watching Dr. Bobby Price, and he was talking to a older lady, and she was in her 70s, fam, but she looked like she was the late 30s, early 40s or something. You know what I'm saying? But 70 years old. And the conversation that they had, they both talked about, and they both was in agreement on how they feel like we choose the experiences that we go through before we come here. We choose if we want to be tall, we want to be short, we want to be uh, some of the traumatic experiences that we go through, the parents that we have. I agree with that. So I think that if people maybe kind of shift their perspective into seeing it that way, and not trying to get anybody to see it that way, but I'm just saying that perspective may be a perspective that'll help you look at your past and say, okay, I went through these things to shape and develop me into who I am now, as opposed to looking at it as, those woe is me experiences. If you look at it like that, that may help you. Say, okay,
Mm.
man, I went through that, but out of that, I got this. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
basically, if it wasn't for that, I might not have gotten to this point. So I think looking at it from that perspective would be a good way to raise your vibration out of feeling like, oh, I can't believe this happened to me. And like he said, moving forward with your future instead of being too stuck in the past.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah, I agree because a lot of people, when you sit and talk to them, and I know we talked about that before, a lot of people be stuck in what happened to them, like they do. A lot of people can't move forward when people, they get alcohol in them. You just hear them keep talking about how their mom ain't love them, dad ain't treat them right, family don't love them. Like they be stuck in that state of no one's there and nothing's better. The world is not great for me and nothing good is happening. And they literally be stuck there to the day they die. You know?
Facts.
You sit and you have a conversation with certain people. You notice when you're really present, you could just hear them replaying the same conversation over and over and over again. Like they never have nothing new to talk about. You know, that's living in the past. That's where, and that's goes back to, like we were saying, being an old soul and a new soul. Like your soul is stuck there. You haven't grown. You're not letting things go. You're not releasing anything. So when you leave your vessel and you come back, you're right back where you left. Like you haven't advanced because your energetic core couldn't shift farther or past where you left it at.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of our people live in the past. Like even when you think about it, we talk about slavery. We've been talking about slavery for 400 years. They've been telling us the same story, and we keep repeating it. We keep talking about it as if we was living in it, as if it was us, as if we was the ones that went through what they say allegedly happened. I mean, it's not. I don't know if it happened or not. I don't know if that's my business to know. To be honest, like how are we gonna get to a future if we dwelling in what happened then and when and why? You know, and we don't realize how even living in the past, like even to say it's creating hate, that's a blockage. Us hating, us fearing, us worrying about the next colored person and oh well this person might do, that's fear. That's all an energetic blockage when you're walking around with fear and angry and hate because of a story that they told you happened back when. And then they still teaching it to our kids.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not going to ever create a brighter future for us because we can't give up on what happened when, and we're not worrying about what can we do so it won't happen again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. As I say, nothing changes if nothing changes. If we don't change what we're learning and what's being taught to us, we're going to still be stuck in what they keep trying to program us in. And a lot of people programmed in their past and the pains and how they were raised and how they grew up poor and how mom didn't love me enough. And they really, they moving like that. Now they not loving nobody because nobody never loved me. That past pain and that past atmosphere really do affect you if you don't release it and let it go.
Right. And it's come and gone. You know, yesterday cannot hurt you anymore. You know,
you bring it with you.
Unless you bring it with you. Facts. You know, and we've spoken about this a few times. When people, there's been a couple people ask me, why can you talk about your pain so nonchalantly, so easily? Because it don't hurt me no more. It's gone. I'm so focused on my present right now and looking to the future and what I can do. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about that. Like I'm aware of it, so it don't happen again. So I don't allow it to happen to my children. But that's it. That's as far as that goes. Is that what I mean? I'm just pulling information from the past and looking at it and saying, okay, this happened because of this, or I may not know why this happened, but I'm gonna attempt to do something different so that it don't happen again. Like that's it. I'm pulling the information so that I can focus on my present and my future. And my future is so bright because my present is so bright. My present is bright because I let go of my past. I hung that over my own head for years and years, and that was always my excuse when I got in trouble, when I did something wrong. Oh, I had a horrible life, I started off messed up, but nah, bro, you skipped school or you did this, that, and the third, or you fought this person, or put your hands on this person, or did whatever. Like you did this mistake, that ain't got nothing to do with your past.
But let me ask you this. So I'm assuming that you do kind of still talk about it kind of frequently for somebody to say, how can you bring it up and sound so healed? Would you say that even talking about it regularly or even talking about it at all is still kind of feeding into the past a little bit? Because I'm a strong believer if you talking about something, you thinking about it. If you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about it, you giving it energy.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with that too, because when we all have a story to tell, and one thing that I learned with my pain is that to really say it doesn't affect me, meaning it no longer exists. I've fully accepted that it doesn't even hold weight to even hold space into my future present right now. It's
Mm.
extinct. It doesn't matter. Like I've accepted it enough to know that these people wasn't right. The person that did what they did, clearly they had their own issues, and those issues no longer belong to me. So I feel like when I do bring it up, like even when I talk to my sister about certain things, I know that I could say, "Oh, no disrespect," but no, I'm only bringing it up because it does still mean something to me. Because why am I even still bringing it up? Instead of me saying, "Oh, not trying to be smart," but no, I'm not trying to be smart, but it does still hold weight because that's why I'm bringing it up. When I talk to her like about my mom and certain aspects, I had to catch myself, and I'm like, well, when I sit back to myself, it do still matter because I still have a feeling behind it because that's why I brought it up.
Mm.
Right.
So that's for me though, perspectively, that was for me, and I had to notice that, and I'm still not done with that part. Then I still fully haven't healed because that still do play some type of effect on me for me to have to bring it up to remind her. Well, remember mom did this, or remember mommy was like that, and she still ain't changing, and that still hurt
Right.
me. To be honest, if I'm being honest with myself, I am still hurt behind that. Why am I pretending not to be?
Mm.
So that's a part that I still have to heal right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I love how you speak, sister. When you saying that you're healed is a big mistake, and I firmly agree with that. Whether we want to call it a mistake or whatever have you, it's not correct. We're healing. We're in that process. We're walking in that journey. You know what I mean? So
But there are parts on my journey that I can say I have healed from.
yeah, yeah,
I say that
absolutely.
again because I healed from it where it no longer holds a place for me to even discuss today. I'm healed from that because it's distinct now. So
Mm.
yes, we're always healing, but there are like different chapters that we have to be healed in to continue our healing.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
And see, my
Because even
perspective.
just the conversation that you, oh, just let me say this real quick, bro. Even the conversation that you just talked about, how we still talk about slavery and a lot and things like that. It's like you just put a mirror up in my face. I had to take a quick moment to reflect because I do get very angry when I hear about some of these stories and some of these things that our people, like you say, allegedly went through because we don't really know for real,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the story of Mary Turner, Emmett Till, I mean, and the list goes on. Yeah, I get furious when I hear some of these stories. But see, and then it's another thing, another epiphany I just had when you was talking. See, the reason that I would still want to learn these things because they teach us, they tell us you got to learn from history to not make the same mistakes in the future, right?
Mm.
But then I thought about who told us that, because I
Mm-hmm.
remember I remember learning that from school, the education system. I learned that from school. You got to learn because I used to not like history, and I used to ask, why do we have to know about these old people that you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't interested. And the response was, you got to learn from history to not make the same mistakes. But if they taught us that, then maybe that's the reason they taught us that, is so that we can stay stuck in the past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
But
that
see,
we can stay in low vibration. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. For certain. For certain, I agree with that. Because even when you think about it, life itself will teach you how to not make the same mistakes in the past. You don't gotta learn about nobody else's life to have to understand how not to make the same mistakes. You live in your own life, dealing with the own people that you resonate with and meet, whether family, friends, foe, co-workers. They will teach you how to not make the same mistakes.
Mhm.
So why do I have to learn about somebody else's mistakes that I've never met, never encountered, never even dwelled in? And especially we're not in a
Mm,
lifestyle that's happening now. So of course it
mm,
was to keep us on a low vibrational energetic court. Because think about how many of us are so angry from what we heard. So angry
Mhm.
about what they said they did to our people.
And
We more
see,
mm.
angry about the slavery than we are about what's happening to our people today.
yeah, and it's
Right.
preconditioning is what it comes down to. It's the way. that we were preconditioned to perceive these old, these stories of old. And what I learned through counseling and therapy and stuff like that, it's like when we look at like take us for instance, right? Our purpose and guiding others or helping others, or just kind of we come here every Sunday, and we cook dinner for other people to eat. You know what I mean? The food that we are willing to serve, right? We are expressing ourselves and we may not be dwelling on the past as much as we used to the point where it affects us, where it's blocking our present and blocking our future. But that may help somebody when they're watching us walk in our light. That may help them walk in their light. You see what I mean? So sometimes, and in my opinion, sometimes it's necessary to mention it as a past tense, but only that it's something that you just recognize that happened, but it's not existent to the point where your present is affected by it. Right? So it's definitely a double-edged sword. And before, the way we're taught in school and the way we're taught growing up is that we need to be angry at what happened in the past. And that's what, that's not okay. In my opinion, I don't think that's what we need to be focused on. But we're taught that we're preconditioned to believe that, oh, what happened with this person, Emmett Till, we're supposed to be angry about that. We're supposed to be mad. And it's all a part of the agenda to get us emotional and to get us to react a certain way.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, Oracle just said something that made me spark something else in the brain too, of letting go of, well, she talked about learning, moving forward and learning how to not make the same mistakes from yourself and what you go through on your own. And it just made me think, and it just reminded me of that phrase, new levels, new devils. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we gotta learn a little bit of something from the past, but I think she's right as far as, especially if we're gonna let the past go and just move forward. Again, new levels, new devils, new challenges. So we gotta learn how to learn from our own mistakes and fix those new challenges, you know what I'm saying, on our own. And then I feel like also that goes a big part of just raising your vibration and being as connected to God as possible. Like she said, we don't really have to worry about learning from past mistakes, because if you so connected with source, so connected with God, then discernment is going to play a big part in, you know what I'm saying, you not making mistakes. And if you do, it was probably something for you to learn, especially if it don't kill you, right? It's something for you to learn from that,
That's right. Hey, shout out to Jay Hooks and the Oracle, man. Make sure y'all smashing that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We do this every Sunday, man. We do this every Sunday.
Appreciate you, God.
Yeah, that's a good point, though, bro.
Yeah, great point.
What was this next video, bro?
So this next one, it was a little bit different from the last one, but I think it still has some power.
Ever feel like you're different from everyone else? You just might be a chosen one. Here's how to tell. Sign number 1. You never fit in. You've always felt like an outsider, like you were meant for something more. 2. You experience strange coincidences. Repeated numbers like 11, 11, or 333. Dreams feels like messages, symbols, people, or events that later come true, and the universe seems to whisper your destiny. 3. You have an unshakable purpose. Even if you don't fully understand it yet, deep down, you know you're here for a reason. 4. Challenges keep coming. The universe tests chosen ones. Hardships aren't setbacks, they're training for something big. 5. You feel watched. Maybe it's ancestors, guides, or something else, but you sense a presence guiding you. If these signs resonate, your journey is just beginning. Like and drop a 777 in the comments if you feel the call. Amen. Ever feel like you're
Yeah, man. 777. Shoot. Uh, I think it was 4 that he said. When you gonna steady face these challenges. Um, I've been talking about that the last couple of days, and having to remind myself, you know, I can't allow what I'm facing right now to break me because, and the only thing I'm really dealing with right now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm gonna keep it real. It's just financial. Everything else, like, I'm really cool. You know, I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the people in my life. I'm grateful for the fact that my situation could be a whole lot worse. I could be in bad health, having to deal with these things, and I could not have. Shout out to, I'm gonna keep that private, but I got a strong support team. I'm gonna say it. Shout out to my parents. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but we gotta remember, this is mental and spiritual warfare. All these things, again, like I was saying earlier, all these things don't matter. Bills, materialistic stuff, it's all, you know what I'm saying? It's all a part of this matrix. So we'll get so consumed and so worried about, oh, how I'm gonna pay for this and how I'm gonna do that. And when it's all over with, who cares? You know what I'm saying? So we gotta remember, it's mental and spiritual warfare, because that's the point of all of this, is to break our spirits and our mentalities. They want us in that low vibrational, worrying, panicking. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? State of mentality. F it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna just continue doing what you gotta do to stay connected to source, your higher self, ancestors, whatever you want to call it, and just have that faith, because your faith is gonna be tested. You gotta have that faith to know that it's gonna eventually work out. It might not work out when you want it to, or even how you see it, but it's going to happen. And it will happen as long as you believe that. So you gotta keep that faith. And then the fifth thing he said, I absolutely feel like I'm being watched by my ancestors all the time. So I resonated with that too.
Shit.
Facts.
So,
Facts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I noticed on this journey as we spiritually evolved when it comes to finances though? If you really sit back, even when you feel like all your finances are crumbling, do you really see how blessed you are though? You really don't want for nothing, you don't need for nothing. Everything is still working out, no matter how it's working out, it's still working out. And you're really not in need. So I feel like on that journey, it's like all that knowledge you know, and do you really believe that knowledge you know? That's really the thing. Do you believe in, like you said, oh, I know this is the matrix. I know that none of this matter. But if you know that it doesn't matter, then it wouldn't even hold too much of your energetic feelings towards it. And you got to know, like, when you know that you're aligned with God, your ancestors watching you, they got you. So something's going to work out. You don't know what it is, but something's about to work in your favor. And it's basically something greater than what you even was planned for. So all right now is just trying to see, how are you going to act before we give you what you're deserving of.
Yeah.
Facts. Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah. And I think we all go through that. Like literally, we all have a season of that when we're on this spiritual journey, because that's part of that veil that's collapsing. Okay, you found out about that. We got to collapse that veil. Give us a second to get this veil together.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. But
Yeah.
like I say, I think that at the end of the day, also, it's just gonna be, you just really gonna be tested on your faith.
There you go.
Yep. Can you still can you still walk around with a high vibration? Can you still do what you may believe you were sent here to do,
Yeah.
even though you don't have the tools right now? If you a soldier going to war and you lose your backpack full of your supplies, do you stop trying to complete the mission? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Hold on, but you said even though you don't have the tools, no, even though you can't see the tools, you have the tools. Just
Mm.
because you don't see them, don't mean you don't have them.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that
Yeah.
because despite what's going on, so my spirit still feel I feel more than wealthy. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
but what you think about that analogy I just said though? If you a soldier, you going to war, you in the middle of wherever, you lose your backpack full of supplies, do you just give up and say, "Oh, I lost my backpack. What am I going to do?" Or do you keep on going on with that mission?
Man, you already
Mm.
know the mission about to be accomplished.
Mm.
Exactly.
Mm. I know that's right.
That's when you got to make do your environment to begin connecting with nature anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's an interesting metaphor and analogy you use. You hiking in the woods, or you on a hike or whatever, and you lose your backpack full of stuff. Do you crawl up next to a tree and give up, or
this is it. It's over.
you know what I mean, right? I love that analogy because that's going to wake quite a few people up that hear that. Like, that's right. If I was in that situation, I would have to, you know, knowing that if I push forward and it's only 5 miles to the next town or 10 miles or whatever, I know I just got to keep going. You know,
Mhm.
or I know, just a mile or two back, I saw a camp, or you know what I mean, a civilization or something. I'm gonna have to go back because I don't know what's ahead or whatever, and I lost my pack or whatever. Either way, or are you gonna crawl up next to a tree and just hang it up? So
Right.
most people gonna say, "No, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna figure it out somehow, some way." That backpack, I just lost it.
Hmm. Yep. And
Yeah,
this how I
so
know. This how I know. Like for me, what I'm saying is super valid because so many people going through something right now where they just want to give up. I was talking to
mm,
my uncle the other day, and he was telling me a man just tried to kill himself on the job. He do like construction, and I guess everybody looked up and seen this man getting ready to jump off a bridge, and I guess somebody that was driving the boat sinked it, so they pulled the boat up under the bridge, and they was able to catch him as soon as he jumped. But I'm just saying all that to say it's just so many people going through it mentally right now. But I think that if people had the perspective of looking at it like we in mental warfare, and if people knew of these forces, these deities that want you in this low vibrational state, I think that'll help a lot in trying to keep your vibration high. If you know your enemy wants you to feel down, that's where you should find your strength to say, all right, now I'm gonna keep my head up because I know my enemy want me to feel like this. But
Yeah.
people don't know who the enemy is,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
you know?
Yes. Yes.
mm.
Yeah, the enemy is the enemy could at times is themselves.
Yeah, most of the
Facts.
time.
Facts.
Yeah, because it's you pitting you down. You the one saying you ain't enough. You the one saying shit ain't going right. What's going on? You the one feeling like the world is against you. So it start with you. You the one
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
listening to those voices tell you ain't nothing, you ain't doing right. Oh, you not a man because you not working, and oh, you this because you ain't got that. That's you telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine when you
And
get that in control, when you tell you otherwise. Oh, everything working out for me. Oh yeah, I'm on pause. This is my relaxed time. Shit, I'm on vacation.
right.
You get what I'm saying? You gotta go against you sometimes because you will beat you before anybody else do.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And I'm living proof of that. I'm living proof of that, fam. And I'm sharing this because I will hope that somebody get motivated from it. I don't have to talk about my personal stuff, but I'm sharing this because I hope that somebody will get motivated from it. I done tried a couple of different, let's say, business adventures that didn't work out. Right, so I've been out of work for the last couple of months. That's where my financial hurdle was coming from. I've been out of work for the last couple of months, but instead of, like you say, feeling like, oh, I'm not a man because I'm not working. You know what I've been doing all that time? Exercise, catching up on exercising that I wasn't able to do when I was working. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for exercising, I probably would have been a little bit more depressed. But I found a way to transfer that energy. And like you said, it's a choice. I could choose to feel down, or I can choose to say I'm not gonna feel like this.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's really that simple. I know it may be easier said than done, but it's really that simple. It's a
It really
choice. You can literally choose to say, all right, yeah, I'm gonna feel down, or you can choose to say, no, I'm not. You might still feel the feelings or the emotions in your body a little bit. You're gonna still
is.
feel it, but that's one of
That too
the
shall
strength.
pass. Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Yeah.
That's when the strength resistance training comes in. You know what I'm saying? To say, all right, yeah, I'm still feeling a little bit, but I'm gonna push through that.
And that's what
Yup.
makes you a chosen one. Choosing to always stay on a high vibration no matter what you're going
Mm,
through, no matter what's
mm,
happening around you, no matter what nobody's saying about you. The only time you need to be protecting yourself as a chosen one is when it's life or death.
Hmm.
When it's
mm.
kill or be killed. Other than that, every day you are supposed to be choosing to walk in the highest vibration for yourself so you can stay in the highest vibration for everything to work out in its best accordance.
Yeah.
And the
Facts.
storm gotta come. The storm gotta come because the storm is always the test to see if what you're choosing you're content with, you're consistent with.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Yeah.
And another thing I learned too when you're going through a lot of things is when you really loving on people and you really doing good and right by people, no matter what you're going through, those around you is going to do right by you because now they're exerting that energy back that you gave them.
Yeah.
So you won't
Mm,
really have to be in a worry state if you got good people around you because if
Facts.
you
mm-hmm.
good to people, they're going to be good to you.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And when you good to yourself too,
Yup. Yup.
because people learn how to treat you through your own actions to yourself. You know, I think Oracle Empress Oracle said something like that before, or close to it. It's like, that's how people learn how to treat you. Through yourself.
Yeah.
We got to
Mm-hmm.
respect ourselves. We got to treat ourselves good, and instead of getting mad, or maybe you can get mad or whatever, but instead of reacting in a way that's toxic, you say, you know what, I'm gonna leave this person where they at because I don't want to engage in that type of whatever. Like, they gonna notice that. How you gonna not notice that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it always start from self, though, like you said. Respect because how you treat yourself is how you're going to rub off on other people. Remember, as within, so without, so within. So if you loving on yourself, of course you're going to be loving to other people. If you respecting
Mhm.
yourself, of course you're going to be respecting other people. If you give into
Right.
yourself, of course you're going to be a giver of other people.
That's right.
So again, that's going
Yep.
to reciprocate and regenerate that same energy you put out to always come back to you. So no matter what you're going through, you're going to always feel like you're getting through because of who you are.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
even if you don't have people around you to bless you, the universe will bless you. The universe will send you people to bless you that you don't even know.
mm,
Hmm.
facts.
And you know what? You just made me think about something else. Don't compare your blessings,
There you go.
because I'm thinking about my situation again, right? My situation is, y'all been out of work, but I had a different type of support. Some people might have went through my situation, and they blessing might have been uh because I seen something like this similar, where he just up and moved, and a lot of stuff just went into place for him. You know what I'm saying? So just
Mm-hmm.
because that's how his situation worked out, that don't mean I'm not blessed too. You know what I'm saying? So don't compare your
Hmm.
blessing. Your blessing is your blessing. So,
Yeah.
like you said, just said, as long as you're not really needing for nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm. And you ain't wanting for nothing, bro. You know, got a beautiful family, got a beautiful support team, and got a wonderful tribe. Like you blessed.
Mm-hmm.
From where I'm standing, I can only speak from what I see from the outside, but you know yourself, you bless yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because you can see things that we don't even know about, you know. And like we've said before, that job, you ain't no telling what could have happened had you stayed on there, and it was
Exactly.
bothering you to be there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Like your skin is glowing more now, honestly. You know, you can hear it in your voice. You not, there's been a lot. There was a lot of different day, especially like when the beginning. You didn't really, you know what I mean? You wouldn't. You like, man, I really didn't feel like doing the show today. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
and that could have been that job that was, having your energy feeling like that. So
Mhm.
we just never know what's around that corner.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We stay focused, and it's gonna reveal itself in a way that we never thought possible.
Mhm.
I'm definitely living proof of that. Being a chosen one, to me, I have to agree with what you were saying, brother. Like, and I also agree with the Oracle, because I used to say to myself, like, why, why would I be chosen but not another person? Then I started thinking about it, like, we all been chosen. That's why we here. But some of us are actually answering our calling. So we gotta put both of those together to really make it make sense. Because one without the other, it's like some people will obviously perceive that, like, oh, so you better than me then. Even though we
Mhm.
know that's not the case, but we know how it sounds. Oh, I'm chosen. I'm a But no, I'm just answering my calling, and I'm walking in my purpose. And you can do the same thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why this was such a great topic today, because it lets that person out there know that's listening, and it could be 50 years from now. It's letting that person know, like, wait a minute, I am chosen, but I have to choose myself, and I have to
Mhm.
walk in my purpose and walk in my light.
Yep. Shout out to Zen Wombs, a goddess named Zen Zen Wombs. She said that too. She said that being the chosen one means you was just chosen to see, and that had hit home for me when I heard her say that, and I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was at a point in my life when I wasn't seeing anything, even though the signs were right there. Whether I had blindfolds on, or I just wasn't looking at it, or I was just turning my head purposely to not see it. However way, you know what I mean, whatever I was doing, what I was doing, but I wasn't seeing what I see now, and something along the way, whatever that spark is that says, open your eyes, or here, put these shades on, put these goggles on, and you'll be able to see, like in They Live, with Roddy Piper and Keith David. Like, look and see what's behind the veil, and it's right in front of your eyes. You not looking, you know.
Mhm.
So, and that's a chosen one to me. It's like you chose yourself over the system, the matrix.
I like that. I
You
like
know
that
what I mean?
because it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true, bro.
Yeah. So I saved this last one, man,
Mm-hmm.
because she spoke on a whole nother different perspective too. But I'll be a monkey's tail if it ain't ringing true to me. It may not speak to nobody else, but this one spoke to me. I was like, man, what you just say, sister? Yes, I had to play it twice because I was like, man, it just made a lot of sense. You know. So I would love to play that and get y'all perspective on it, because I know y'all gonna come with that heat. We in the kitchen cooking too. Everybody out there, shout out in the chats, man. Get your dinner plates and eat this food up, man, because we stay cooking. Yeah, but
Shout out to everybody tapped in. Everybody that's tapped in. Consider yourself conscious, woke, whatever you tapped in. You shout out to everybody that got the veil lifted. I'm gonna say that.
facts, facts. Shout out. We appreciate y'all coming. Make sure y'all smashing that like button. If you liking the content, make sure you subscribe. Turn on those bell notifications so you know the next time we go live, which is every Sunday, 1 p.m. And yeah,
I got all these bees surrounding me, y'all. I'm trying not to be scared, but they say when bees start getting close, they'll be vibrating high. So I'm gonna.
yeah, bees.
Prosperity coming in. That's prosperity. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, prosperity, and they recognize royalty, gang.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know that. Right? Like when a queen is born, they know it's a queen from the moment they see it, or they know that it's not, and it's like, okay, no, this ain't. They discard it.
And they actually don't attack you unless you attack them. So I said it
Right,
right.
that's why I said I'm trying.
Yeah.
Try not
Mm-hmm.
to be scared.
Yeah, no, yeah. Don't worry about them. They ain't even focus on you. They purpose. They always in their purpose. Bees are gonna go collect the flower, and they make the sweetest natural sugar, natural sweetener on the planet. And the thing about it is, a lot of people don't realize, they don't know this, but honey, it don't matter if it's 1,000,000 years old, it will never, ever, ever, ever spoil.
Mm.
That's
I
crazy. A
ain't
lot
know
of people don't know that. Honey will never, true honey, not the stuff most of the stuff they selling in the stores. Raw real honey, you can put it in the shelf for 1,000,000 years. 100 generations could come back later and still eat that honey, and it'll taste the same as if the first day the bees created it. That's why people don't realize you gotta get off that bull crap sugar and all that. Like honey is so, it does everything that the sugar's gonna do. You want to sweeten it. You want to, like, that's how I make my lemonade. The honey. People ask me, "How's your lemonade so good, man?" This is some bomb lemonade because I use honey and I use a
That's
pinch of agave. Yeah.
yeah, that means I can imagine that tasting really good. Lemon and
Yeah.
honey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this, and I would love to get y'all perspective on what this sister was talking about.
Think about that word purpose, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, what job what am I supposed to do?" Your purpose is about who you are and what the Lord is cultivating to uplift, encourage, and inspire. Who Mia is, who He's called and cultivated you to be, He's birthing purpose inside of you to take that. It's about your impact. Your purpose is about the impact that you make here on the earth. Think about that word.
Do y'all need me to play it again?
No.
No, actually, I want man hearing that one more time, especially the last part.
Purpose, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, what job what am I supposed to do?" Your purpose is about who you are and what the Lord is cultivating to uplift, encourage, and inspire. Who Mia is, who He's called and cultivated you to be, He's birthing purpose inside of you to take that. It's about your impact. Your purpose is about the impact that you make here on the earth. Think about.
Okay, yeah, that's the part I want to catch again. She said your purpose is about the impact that you leave here on earth. Okay, okay. Uh, I would agree with that. That definitely resonate with me because I know that that's what I want to do. I want to leave a positive impact. I want to leave an impact that stimulates change, um, and definitely want to leave an impact that stimulates the mind for just a better society. What's been going on the last 500 years or whatever they say, it got to stop. It got to come to an end. And the way people are behaving lately, it's showing that people tired. They fed up. There's no reason the suicide rate should be as high as it is, especially when America is the greatest country around the world. Let them tell it. So we so great. That's so many people want to kill themselves. That don't make sense to me. It's people, let them tell it. It's people that's dying to get over here, but then you got people that's over here that's dying to get out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of them. I mean, I'm keeping everything going, but I feel like it's somewhere better than this. I know it is, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like when you said it's somewhere better than this, it's somewhere that we create right now that's better than this, right? You got to create what's better than this. And our purpose is not to leave anything, is to do it while we're here. God is a God of the living. So it's what you do while you're living that's going to reflect those. And I understand what she said because I truly believe that. My purpose is everybody I touch, I leave in good grace. I leave with a message. I leave differently. If I don't walk into your life and just knowing me to inspire you, then I haven't fulfilled my purpose.
Mm, 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 mm.
And it's no cocky nothing. It's just I know if I cannot do you no good, I won't do you no harm. So if I'm walking into your energetic field, it's because I have come to bring you some good, no matter what it is, a message, even if you need a shoulder to cry on, if I can help you in any way, that is always my purpose. But what I had to learn with my purpose is I cannot deplete myself trying to elevate and uplift others. So that was my lesson and my purpose that I had to learn. But it's nobody, I feel personally, it's nobody that can say that they know me and can have anything negative to say about me and who my essence is and what my essence brings into their life. You know? So to leave behind is just when you go, you know how, let's say you have a funeral. I don't know if I want a funeral, but let's say you have one. Only they could say is good things. That means you fulfilled your purpose.
Yup.
So it's not about leaving monuments and leaving a star in the ground. It ain't about none of that. It ain't about none of that. Yeah, these monuments could blow down tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? It's what your essence leaves, what your spirit leaves.
Yes.
What they say about you when you turn the corner. Now, people gonna make up stuff, but we talking about from the heart. When people that really know everything you do is from the heart, you are fulfilling your purpose. So,
Yeah.
change happens now. Change don't happen, you know, when we say, oh, I know it's somewhere greater. Yeah, if you know it, create it. You create your heaven, you create your hell right here, right now. Only you could
Yeah,
decide.
I would agree with that also because even if going to moving overseas or whatever, it's still gonna have its challenges. It's still gonna have its rules and laws and whatnot. But like you said, it's what you make of it. And I just personally think that there's other parts of the world that I don't know, maybe it's easier to create what you have in mind than other places. You know. With that being said, like so for me, in my perspective, there's other countries, especially these third world countries that they say, right? Yeah, they don't have a lot of the materialistic stuff that we have, but they so much more rooted in culture and family. To me, that's more important. You know what I'm saying? Than all this material stuff over here in America. So uh that's what I mean when I just feel like it's places better in the world, but that goes down to perspective. Some people, some people they don't care nothing about that. They want to have they luxury things. They don't care nothing about family. It's long at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like they say. But for me, I would rather have that. I would rather have that culture, that strong sense of family and togetherness than all this material stuff.
Yeah. Because I'm happy just going outside and picking the fruit that I want to eat for that day right off the tree in my backyard.
Exactly.
You know, and knowing that my children are just out doing the same thing whenever they feel the need. You know.
Because America is just so dog eat dog. It's just so every man for themselves, and of course everybody not like that, but it's just the I feel like that's the almost the general mentality, you know. To make it to the top by any means. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get this money. Like, can't take none of it with
you. Yeah. Facts. Definitely can't. You're not gonna take it with you. It's best, like the Queen Oracle said, and like the lady in the video said. It's all about what you leave behind, your essence. It's all about the impact that you make. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else other than that, you know. And shout out to Empress for saying ain't nobody can say nothing negative about what you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that's absolutely right. You know, if I came into your space, your energy field, just know that I was offering, whatever, and I love her saying, if I can't do you no good, I ain't gonna do you no harm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm gonna excuse myself from the party, the situation, from the energy field or whatever. It's like, hey, listen, powerful, powerful stuff, man. And it seems so simple to some of us, but that notion right there is some of the toughest things for a low vibrational person to learn, because I was in that space, man. I was just I would have been arguing you up and down, like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because you so caught up in that life or in that rhetoric. It just it has you, man. It has you. When it has you, it got you. And until you say to yourself, okay, there's got to be another way. Once you say that, there has to be another way. You're gonna find it. It's gonna drop in your lap, or
Yeah.
you gonna walk right into it, or run right into the brick wall. Whatever it is, whatever
Yeah.
metaphor you want to use, you're gonna find it. I promise you. But you gotta say, yo, there's gotta be another way. There's gotta be another way. How many times I done told y'all? Every time I said that about something, a new video would pop into my feed. This is just the recent stuff. But past stuff, there wasn't, it wasn't no YouTube. It wasn't none of that. But recently, I'll say something and it just pop right into my feed. I don't know this person, never heard of them, and all of a sudden, they videos right in my feed, and it gives me an answer to something I've been looking for, like the deodorant thing. Man, I couldn't, you know what I mean? I couldn't wear the deodorant because
Right.
the welts under my arms, and then here come this guy with the all natural, and I've been using it ever since. I ain't had no problems, none. You know what I'm saying? That God Fest was so painful and uncomfortable for me, and nobody knew. You didn't know, bro. I didn't. I mean, I said something to you, but I asked you, but you couldn't tell I was in so much pain. You know what I'm saying? I was hurting, but I was like, man, there's got to be another way. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why do these people do this? Why do they got all these poisons and aluminums and metals and all this crap? And sure enough, this guy popped up, man. It was like, hey, I got this natural deodorant. Go ahead and try it. I said, man, let me go ahead and test this out. Shout out to Julian Brown and the Nature Jab, man, because it actually works. And I've been using it. I'm like, man, this is what I needed right here. It may not work for everybody, but something out there is gonna work for you. It's out there.
Mhm. Yep. Those be those divine messages from the ancestors.
Yep.
Yep.
Been
Yeah.
one of them ones right here.
Hmm.
Like you said
Yeah, I'm
earlier, bro.
definitely
He's like, hey, we riding. We got haters in the chat. My
oh
bad. Go
yeah.
ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying I definitely enjoyed this conversation. Always a good time with the tribe with y'all, man. We always just sharing these perspectives and getting feedback from people. It's a beautiful thing, and then it always just show you how this Christ consciousness thing is real, because we always somewhere around the same level, and then sometimes
Mhm.
we assess stuff with each other that bring us up, or you know what I'm saying, change our perspective and just raise the vibration. So again, man, I'm grateful for this thing we got going on, and everybody that resonate with it. You know,
Yeah.
like you said, Uncle, can't do you no good, won't do you no harm. So I'm just really hoping that somebody is taking something from what we talking about, and at least being able to resonate with the information, and like I always say, so you don't feel alone. Because I
Mm.
always go back to me first getting on it, and thank God for the internet. Because I was just thinking about this the other day. I can't imagine getting on this journey back in the 60s and 70s before the internet. You know what I'm saying? Before you was able to more easily connect with like-minded people.
Yeah.
So,
You probably would have thought you was
hmm
losing your mind.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even fathom what it was like during those times to come to this awakening, and then you literally probably had nobody to talk to.
Right. And you, like
Hmm.
I
Shout
said,
out to
you really would think
women and all those. Hmm?
you would really think you was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
For a little while, we did too. But here's the thing: we got to remember too. Those people back then, they did manifest the people, the like-minded people. Because look at the large groups they was able to form.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You know, million man march. They didn't have no internet, but somehow there's a million Mickey Fickies out there, right?
Hmm.
So it's all about that energy field, man. If you pushing out that energy, whether we got internet or not, we was gonna find each other, point blank, period. And I believe I know this with my soul because it was the way it happened for me was just so shocking. Like I told y'all the story about how my spirit was like, you need to do this, and I was like, man, I ain't even close to none of that. What you talking about? Like my spirit said, you need to do this, and you gonna do it. And I made a pact with myself years ago. I said, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna follow my spirit. I'm gonna follow my gut, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna follow my higher self. I'm gonna follow the calling of God, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna start following that. And if it say do something, I'm just gonna do it. No, you know what I mean? Even if I argue, eventually that my spirit knows or that higher self knows it can pull rank and say, remember, you said you just gonna do it. And right then and there, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna do it. You know, I just had a recent argument with my spirit. Like, man, this ain't, I don't know what you talking about, bro. Nah, I ain't doing, I don't know about none of that. And it was like, listen, you said you're gonna do it, so you have to do it. So all right, you pulling rank. And then when I do it and find out, like, oh wow, I'm glad I did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's real, man. That energy field is real. We got to walk
Hmm.
in that purpose. We got to live in that space, and it's difficult at times, but
Hmm.
we got to keep going. We got to have that faith, that belief, that knowing. At the end of the day, we got to have that knowing.
Facts, facts.
Yeah, and I feel like to truly consider yourself as a chosen one, you have to always walk in that knowing, right? When you say I'm chosen and I was chosen, then you know that God is for you. Everything is for you. Like you cannot
Hmm.
fail. Like you cannot fall. Even if you're looking at it as a fall, it's not a fall. It's something down
Hmm.
that you're supposed to pick up. It's something down that you're supposed to grasp from. It's something you're supposed to learn to take with you when you get back up. But to really say I am chosen and I know that this is my path, and you know that nothing is going wrong on what's happening. Everything is meant to happen. Even you saying Hooks earlier, how the lady said we pick these things, we pick our parents, we pick our circumstances. So if you really believe that, and that's part of this knowing journey, and that's part of this chosen journey, then why are you angry? Why are you upset?
Yeah,
Why do you feel like you don't have control? If
yeah.
you know you
Exactly.
picked this path, why are you now feeling like you are not in control of everything
Hmm.
that's happening? No, it does not look like it's going right, but it is. It
Yeah,
is. In the spiritual realm, it's going right, but in the physical, the material, no, it may not be. But remember, we're not no longer in that material because we understand
hmm,
that this is a matrix.
Facts, facts.
hmm,
Yep. That's why I
yeah,
was saying it's we gotta remember it's a mental, spiritual warfare.
yeah,
These things happen. He'll try to drag us down and have us thinking like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we
And
have to
won't.
remember exactly what you just said. That's exactly what we have to remember.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
damn, facts. And shout out to the tribe, man. Y'all came cooking today.
And
Make
I
sure.
just thought about something. Speaking of, the title that we on being ahead of your time. I think it was on Kalai Ahmed Ra. Shout out to Kalai Ahmed Ra. Yeah, I posted a little video, ironically, of it was a young guy, probably back, I don't know, probably 60s or 70s. I don't know when the time was, but he was at like some type of conference, and he was saying like, "Nah, this generation, my generation, we ain't going for this. We not believing the lies. Don't quote me." But that's pretty much what he was saying. Like, nah, we not believing the lies. That's, you know what I'm saying. That's for the older people. Blah blah blah. Ahead of his time. I would have never thought to see no video like that that was that far back. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's how you know this revolution, the spiritual war. It's never stops. People
Yeah.
just kind of lost sight of it, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
that shocked me to see him. Man, we not going for. It's like I feel like that might have been me, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
that,
Real
that
shit.
might have been me reincarnated because I couldn't believe. I'm like, what? We been on this. It's never stopped. Yep.
And think about it. Like the older generation, you know, no disrespect, they were more so monkey see, monkey do. You know, they follow in line. They didn't want to go against because they were embedded with so much fear. Where our
Yeah.
generation, we didn't really allow them to embed us with fear because we started questioning everything. The older generation didn't question anything. They just said, Johnny said it, Jamie said it, this is what it is. We said,
Yeah.
what Johnny talking about? Who told Jamie that? What are you talking about? Where did you get that from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
we question. And even when you go back to this Christianity or religion, it tells you to question everything. And though we were, even our generation, we were whooped when we questioned things. So that was trying to implement that fear in us to stop asking questions. But we didn't give up there. We
Yeah.
didn't give up. Even after the whoopings, we still needed to know. What are you talking about? Now, you didn't whoop me because I asked you a question, but I ain't get an answer yet. You know what I'm saying?
Ahead of our time. Ahead of our
Yeah, you
time.
know
And
what I'm
once spirit
saying?
right was spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit was like, yeah, I hear what you saying, but
Mm-hmm.
spirit saying something else.
Yeah.
Ahead
Exactly.
of our time.
Exactly. And that was the
And we,
thing. When it didn't sit right with our spirit, we didn't ignore it. We kept going. We kept searching. We kept seeking.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we
Yep.
knew something wasn't right.
Yeah. So again, like when I hear chosen, it's just choosing to stand out, choosing to
Yes.
go against the crowd, choosing to get out of line, choosing
Yes.
to walk the path less traveled. That's what I hear when
Facts.
I hear chosen.
Facts.
Mm. Yeah. We broke that. We broke that word down too, because a lot of you see it on the internet everywhere. You see it all over the place. A lot of people have a different idea of what chosen is. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and man, I don't. I used to laugh. I don't laugh now, but I used to laugh at the people that say, you know, only 100,000 people are chosen, and they got a number on it. Like, what? That
344.
don't even, yeah,
Yeah,
that don't
it's
even
a
make
vibration.
sense.
Yeah, that's a vibration. It's not a number. It's a vibration.
Right,
It's a vibration, a timeline you have to get on to be called, to be heard.
right.
Not,
Yeah.
not though. I ain't gonna lie. It do seem like out of the billion of people it is in the world, it do seem like it's only 144,000
But
that
it's
get
not
it.
though. It's so many more. Like imagine
Yeah,
how this world is. It's so many more. Like
yeah.
it's so much
There's
more.
a, there's somebody in a tribe or in a village somewhere right now that just
Mm-hmm.
they ain't on the internet.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
they not on there.
So I
So
mean, think about the numbers though. Think about the numbers that be on the internet. That's why I say this because let's use Brother Rich. I think like one of his I don't know, but like one of his highest viewed videos it'd be like in like the 10,000s or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, we don't really never see any of these videos. Hey, Icy Poo, we don't never really see any of these videos in the millions. You know what I'm saying? It's always at best 100,000 or something like that.
But
So
but you know what though? Like hearing you say that, even like let's
mm,
take his channel for example, and let's say it's
mm,
10,000, 15,000 views. That don't mean all of them are chosen. Just
mm,
because they're viewing it don't make them chosen. And that's another thing. That's why I asked what do chosen me, because I've heard a lot of
facts.
people say that I'm chosen word and ain't nothing chosen about their character.
mm,
Facts.
So I'm gonna go back to that. And I have to really repeat that. And I really feel like that's a message we have to put out here. You have to be mindful of all these people saying that they're spiritual and that
yeah,
they're, because sometimes they're not. They're just saying that to get close to you. They're saying that they gain something off of you that they see that you might not see in yourself. You
yeah,
know,
Mm,
that's one of the biggest lessons I learned on the spiritual journey. Just because somebody tell you that they're spiritual, don't make them spiritual. You got to watch their character, watch their ways, watch how they treat people, watch how they interact. because
And
I
watch it.
myself have been caught up in that maze of thinking, oh, this person know this and know that, and oh, and I felt so great to be around them. But as I got to know them, they had some ugly hearts.
And check this out too, sister. I don't know if you remember a post I put on the channel. It said it had this woman sitting there, and this guy was like, he came up to her and was like, hi, hi, I'm spiritual. She said, demons are spirits too. Be more specific.
Yeah.
So you know
Damn.
what I'm saying? Like
No, and that's something I think we all need to stay alert on when people come in
exactly.
watch
Yeah,
you. Some are just feeding off of things that they watch you, they learn you, they
yeah,
study you, and they'll
yeah,
walk into your energetic field coming to be something new to you. When the whole time they just been trying to get close to take something from you. At
yeah.
least try, because they can't take nothing, but they can try.
Right.
And us being empathetic as we are, and so open and so grateful to meet somebody else on our timeline. Sometimes you'll be mixing yourself up with the devil and
Yeah.
don't even know it, and now you got to fight your way out.
Mm, man.
Mm.
Yeah. Shout out to all of us for creating Captain Planet or feeding Captain Planet the energy to. Because I love talking about Captain Planet because the captain looked out for us so many times. So many times when we didn't even have to. We can stay focused on our learning. We can stay focused on our reading. We can stay focused on our meditation. And that's not to say we're not going to be tested and not going to have to fend off ourselves, some of these entities. But to know that we have that guidance and to have that backing is powerful. To me, is powerful. I'm truly grateful of that.
Yeah. I think for me, as I approach this journey, I always pray for discernment when I meet people now. And it's not fearing nothing, but it's just always asking God to put me present with those that do belong around me and show me those that don't, so I can leave in peace and in love.
Yeah.
That discernment is something you always have to have being a chosen one, being on this journey.
Mhm.
Because like we said, we're always tested. We always want to be tested. And it's sometimes not strangers, it's your family, it's your friends, it's your loved ones, it's the people you love
Mhm.
the most. But when
Mhm.
you have discernment, you start to move carefully and you understand what you're dealing with so you can know how to deal with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fact. Mm.
Yeah, and I want to add to your point too about the everybody that, let's say it is 10,000. Everybody that watch it is not chosen or woke or whatever. You're right. That's a good point because a lot of times people be getting on there just to troll and be like,
Mm-hmm.
say crazy
Y'all
stuff.
crazy. What
Yeah,
y'all doing? Y'all talking weird. And yeah.
Mhm.
exactly. So that still
Yeah.
counts as a view. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
but that's exactly why I say, from my perspective, it feel like it's only 144,000 woke people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, but
Yeah.
man,
We
I
had a
mean,
troll. We had a troll today.
no disrespect. I was disappointed when I went to Africa and I seen how I was expecting to go over there and meet more people that's like minded, but it was. I'm just gonna say this respectfully. It's a lot of Christianity over there. I mean, it was a
Mm-hmm.
church almost on every corner.
Mm-hmm. That's part of the
You know what I'm
program.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If it wasn't the Christian church, it was a Muslim church.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that just caught me by surprise. I was expecting to see more original religious practices. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But it was super Christian. Even just riding around, people crosses and Jesus all stickers all on their cars and stuff. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Putting that
Yeah.
power outside of themselves.
Hmm. Even I just watched the video because I watched a lot of videos on people traveling to different places. So it was somewhere even in like the Philippines or something, where they still kind of got their roots a little bit. But even that guy was saying like, even the guy had asked him, he was assuming the same thing. He was like, so what are y'all? What's y'all religion around here? What's y'all practice? And they said something that I think he might have said they was Baptist or something like that. And he was like, wow. I was expecting y'all to have, some old school type of religion. So that's why I say it. From my perspective, it do seem like it's only 144,000 of us, because this program runs deep across the whole world. The
It
whole
does.
world.
And the thing about social media though is it helped implement that programming too.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
TikTok, all that stuff help implement it because it changed their thought process. And again, we're easily programmable, whether we realize it or not. And again, if you're not programming you, then you're allowing something else to program you.
Facts.
You know, and a belief is only something you tell yourself over and over and over and over again. And if you keep watching something over and over and over again, it becomes that belief. That belief you implement within your world and within your life.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
You know,
say.
that's like them people walking, knocking on your door. What are they? Not
Oh,
just
Jehovah's.
dumb, and then the other ones that come
the
to the house.
Mormons. You
Yeah,
talking about
them.
the Mormons? Let me
They come in, they knocking on your door. That's what they doing out there. They come
Let
in,
me
they
tell
walk
y'all
around.
this a story. My twin always loves to tell everybody. Right, the Mormons, they knocked on my door one time, and I let him in. But I told him, I said, "Listen, you caught me at a time where I just rolled up. Me and my twin was about to smoke. I said, listen, I smoke, and they could have chose to stay out, but they stayed as long as they could, and they was preaching their word or whatever, and I was listening to it, but my twin and I is passing the blunt back and forth, and eventually they got up out of there, but they was like, you could tell they were starting to get contact and everything else, and it was just like it was a funny situation, man, because and I was low vibration at the time, but it was like I'll hear what you got to say because ain't no telling where I might get some inspiration from. And we know there's good stuff in those books. We know there's stuff that resonates and that makes sense. So, it just we got to take that and put the power within ourselves, and we figure that out later on in life. But that's a funny story, man, and I think people need to be themselves, even around, and that's one thing we notice about a lot of these religions. They not themselves. They only act a certain way when they around the flock, or when they at the church, or when they at the mosque or the synagogue. That's the only time they act like that. But as soon as they leave, they gangsters. They this, that, and the third. I just couldn't do it. I'm a smoke. That's what I do. I don't smoke now, but when I was smoking, I'm a smoke. I don't care. You can sit there and preach your word all you want. I'm lighting up right outside the church, or outside. Like I told the judge, listen, you can talk till you blue in the face. You might as well just put me on a monthly payment because I'm never gonna stop smoking. I'm never gonna be caught without bud on me. So. That's what I told the judge. He said, maybe you should just quit. I said, that's not going to happen. I'll quit when I'm ready to quit. You know what I'm saying? And you might as well just put me on a monthly thing so these cops can stop arresting me for this garbage, and we can go on about our day, and I'll just pay a monthly fee. Since that's all it comes to be anyway, is a fine. Just give me that same fine every month, and I'll pay it. That's what I told the judge. So we got to be ourselves, man, and I had to tell y'all that story.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I remember doing my smoking days, man. If I was already high, man, and somebody came to the door. I remember one time a lady came. I don't even know what she was trying to sell. I don't even know what she was talking about. I'm not interested. Just close the door. But it's like I'm getting ready to get into my meditation state. If I whatever you selling, if I wanted it, I would find you. So don't interrupt my me time. Let me go ahead and meditate and do what I was getting ready to do. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I like how you handled that judge too, bro, because I think they need to be reminded sometime. Like y'all don't really run nothing like y'all think y'all do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They take those positions way too serious. It's like y'all, man,
Well,
That's how I be feeling.
it's the fear though. Think about it. We only think that because of the movies we watch, the TV shows. So we give them that high authority because we have fear that the
Yeah,
things that we see is how it's supposed to be. And
yeah.
yes,
Exactly.
judge is no different than the McDonald's worker. Okay, the police
Exactly.
officer ain't no different than a Chick-fil-A worker. They all are workers in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Exactly.
honor that they get is the whatever you decide to give them. If you bowing down and making them seem like they on top of a drone, then that's what they gonna take. But at the,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
at the end of the day, we supposed to be respecting one another no matter what type of suit we got on. But
Yeah,
nobody's more
Mm-hmm.
important than nobody else. So to
that's
go in
right.
there all shaking and giving away your rights, you just letting them think you don't know how to take charge of who you are, in charge of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I
Thank you.
go in
Thank
them
you for.
places, them people are regular people. Ain't no your honor, Mr. Doo Doo Dot. Like what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that's
Yep.
something we gotta learn as humanity. Like we giving people too much authority over us. Too much
Facts.
authority.
Facts.
Putting them on pedestals that they haven't earned, nor do they
Yeah,
belong on.
facts.
Exactly.
And just as well as they
Exactly.
can put you in trouble, they can get in trouble too. They not no different from you.
Yep.
Mm.
They have an oath of office to follow, and they have rules and regulations to obtain to. But if you don't know them, then you would think they have none.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that and I
facts.
learned that just not too long ago. That's why I say I would never get married again the traditional way with the going through the state and all that.
Yeah.
I'm open to marriage, but not going through the state because I had never felt so low and little in my life having to ask this man I've never met, would never
Right.
probably ever see him again, permission
Mm-hmm.
to get to change something in my life.
Right.
That was just that was a feeling I don't want to ever experience again. It did something to me, and
Mm-hmm.
then on top of that, like I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but we know these judges they sometimes they sick behind closed doors,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and based on what I seen, and I'm not trying to judge the man, but that's just what how I felt like to me he looked like a diddler. I just I don't know.
Your
That's just how he
energy is
looked to me.
telling you that,
I
bro.
could see
Uh-huh.
him doing it. I could picture him being like that. You know what I'm saying? So for
Yeah,
me to have to ask him, and I don't even know you or what you do behind. Let's say if he was a dealer, and I'm right, I gotta ask this freak. You know what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm.
I don't want to put myself in a position like that again, ever again.
Yeah. And stop me if you think I'm wrong, Queen. I believe that his spirit was talking to him, and his gut was right that judge was a diddler. And if we look at the statistics, how many of them get off and get a slap on the wrist? Most of these politicians, these higher ups, these cops, these judges are diddlers because why is it that you would let this happen and then only give this man 2 years probation? Oh, you got to register for the rest of your life or register for 10 years or whatever, but you get off. Man, come on, man. Come on.
And it's the who that's doing that. It's the judges that's
Yes.
doing it.
And they
That's giving
feel
them
they
that
like,
like
damn, I know I'm doing this, so I ain't going to give this guy too much. You know what I mean? Too much time. I gotta look out for him because if I ever get caught, I want to, I want to have the same sympathy.
exactly.
That's what speaks to
Exactly.
me.
Mm-hmm. Energy don't
Yep.
lie. And
Yeah,
America is built off of pedophilia. So yeah, and that's why it doesn't mean nothing to them because that's what it's built off of.
yeah. And about that marriage thing, bro, where was the judges back in the times when we was, you know what I mean? Even back in like Egyptian times, where were the judges at?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Where was the
Nobody should have that type of power over your life to say.
yeah? Where was the piece
Because
of
even
paper
when I
that
was
said,
growing
"Oh,
up,
yeah, this is my wife, this is that"? They brought some witnesses of their family and their loved ones, and
And they
okay,
wrote it in the Bible. They wrote it in the back of the book.
yeah,
Yeah. And when you want to like leave your belongings and stuff like that, they form trust. You make up a trust and you put your wife and your name in there. And you leave who gets what and what gets what. You don't have to go do no court system to do none of that.
that's right.
Yeah. So, but again, it's our lack of knowledge. We didn't know no better. You listen to
Hmm.
Christianity growing up, they tell you, oh, you need a wife, he who has a wife, but never did it mention you had to be married in that Bible. It never said you had to go to the court to be married in that Bible.
Right.
They told you that because that's how they get paid. You
Yeah.
know, I think it's a business.
Exactly.
So we can tell them they need to get married and they need to come through us. We get paid, and then they got to pay us for us to release them from it.
Yeah.
So it's a win for them.
And then again, it's like you say, we give them too much power,
too much authority.
Why is it that our relationship is not official unless they say it's official?
That part.
I have a problem with that.
But
you know
remember,
it should be official if we say it is. If we
and it is.
And make this and say that we husband and wife, then we husband
that's
and wife.
What it is.
Regardless of any
that's right.
Piece of paper or any, you know what I'm saying?
But that is. But think about it, King. It is like that because it is like that now because if they could tell you, you could decide if you want to be a man and woman tomorrow. Then can I not decide if I'm married or not tomorrow too? If they give you the right to decide what you want to be when you wake up, then don't I have the right to decide if I want to say I am who I say I am? I am that I am. Right. So remember though, back in the day, they used to say if you was in a relationship for more than 5 years, you were considered married. Remember that? You don't remember they used to say that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Common law, they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it's always going to be about you because you are the creator of your life. You are the orchestrator. You are the guard. You are the one that says what happens and what don't happen. It's not about what nobody else say. They don't gotta believe it. Just like if I look at you and you tell me to call you a she and I don't believe it, and you telling me, oh, you don't believe it, you know, I don't gotta believe shit. Right? So you tell me what I'm forced to say is right or wrong when it's beneficial to you. I decide what's right or wrong when it's beneficial to me anytime I decide that.
That's right.
So again, it's just us taking back authority and taking control over our business entity, and we are that business.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say I'm married, I'm married. If I say I'm single, I'm single. If I say I'm a billionaire, I'm a billionaire. What are you talking about?
That's right. That's right. And that we are. Let's go.
Yeah. Because I feel like that was the opening of everything when they came out with that he, she, we, they. Well, if they say they want to be called a man, then call them a man. Then okay, then I guess it's a go time for everything. What are you talking about?
That's the same thing I said.
Oh,
the same thing I said, man. We got to be able to
being
cut
respectful.
it off.
You putting me in an illusion of believing something, but I can't make my own illusion? What the fuck are you talking about?
That's right. Yeah. Smash that like button.
I say, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? If I say I feel like I'm a bumblebee,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If everybody else get the same respect to say, oh, well, they feel like they are a woman, well, we're gonna call them that. Then you got to give me the same courtesy and respect. I'm a bumblebee today.
Exactly.
And I want to be addressed and such.
People out there calling themselves cats and really acting like cats and drinking from milk bowls and listen.
And you telling me not to judge them, then don't judge me. When is my turn?
That's right. Facts.
Exactly.
Don't judge me when I come up with my mindset I want you to believe in for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Oh, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button, Chad. We appreciate y'all stopping in, man. Make sure y'all smashing that like button and hit the subscribe and the notification bell if you haven't already.
I say.
Man, this was such a powerful topic.
Yep, good reminder too. Good reminder.
Yeah. And you know, we bring the logic, you know, we bring our own perspectives and stuff, but it's only logical. Like the Empress was just saying, like, if you can say you a cat, if you can say you a she, even though we know you a he, then you need to respect the same authority that I put for myself, or the same, you got to respect that, just like you want me to respect the fact that you want to be called a she when you know you was born a man, but now you calling yourself a woman. It's only right. And if we can respect you in your space and say, okay, hey, to each his own, that's cool. Whatever you say, you need to do the same for others.
Yeah. And I saw this video. I don't know, it was some like podcast. I don't really follow people, but she was saying she was going on a debate with somebody else, and she was like, "Well, if you're gonna say that about them, then what about the Caucasian woman that says she wanted to be a black woman? Can we not give her that? Can we not respect her for that?"
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Facts.
and
Exactly.
I agree 100% with her. What,
I agree. Yeah.
like you said, Hooks. Where's the line drawn? Who are you to say, "Oh no, this is right," but no, not that one. No, if y'all opening up the
Exactly.
yard, open the fucking yard up.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
Especially for America, because
Especially
we
for
the
America, since it
land of
is
the
the land
free.
of the free. So I am
We the land
freely
of the
able
free.
to move accordingly to how I freely feel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I've met a
Exactly.
lot of Caucasians that act way more, on they on they stuff than melanated people do, and and happening, and they know they stuff too. You ask them, like, damn. So, and who's to say they wasn't in the past life? We
But
know we all been everything. We all been, you know what I mean?
the thing is, when I think of race, and I'm always asked about what's my race, or my race is the human race. So I don't
Thank
really
you,
look at the black and white symptom thing that they got going on, because when we
thank
say we
you.
know Caucasian people that are more black, but it's the thing is, you are the company you keep. So it's
Facts,
just the fact of you grew up in the aura field or the energetic field of other races,
that's
other
right.
characteristics. So again, that black and white thing is just a divide too. And I'm out of
That's it.
division. That's why, when I say chosen, I don't like to feel like that, because like you said, now it's, oh, you think you better than me. No, we're all chosen. It's just who's believing to walk in their favor.
Right,
Who's determined to walk down that path. You are chosen too, but if you're not choosing, then you're not chosen, because you're not
right.
choosing to go with what's aligned for you. No, that does not make me better than you. That just makes me more determined on a different atmosphere, a different particular situation or circumstances. That's
That's
it.
right.
But I
That
don't
is
want to
right.
separate myself from nobody. I don't, because I feel like that goes into judgment. I'm not judging you because you didn't decide.
Right.
I'm
And
not.
that goes into divide, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get around other Caucasian people that you say, oh, they act blacker than other black, yeah, they just grew up around a lot of black folk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
They respect it. That's the energy they picked up. Again, that's why I'm big on, they say you are the company you keep.
Mm-hmm.
You are.
You are.
You really
Yeah.
are.
And I definitely agree with you. And I've said this multiple times. I said it multiple more times. I think everybody is chosen. I think everybody
Mm-hmm.
chosen. But like I always say, it's just levels to it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I have multiple conversations with people where it's like, I'm just sitting back, I'm listening. I'm like, okay, I like what they saying here. I like what they saying there, but I disagree with this.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that stuff that I do agree with, that is a certain level of consciousness and
Yes.
wokeness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
for example, I know this brother that's I don't know exactly where he at now mentally, but I know that he's going around to expect. I kind of told you about this a little bit. He's now going to the county jail, talking to the youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a level of wokeness. That's a level of consciousness. That
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
his spirit knows that we need to change. We need to make something different.
That's right.
I salute that.
Yeah.
Now, does he know
Absolutely.
about all the esoteric stuff and all that? That's another conversation. But that's it to me. That is a level of wokeness.
It
That's
is.
right.
Yep.
It
Yep.
is.
Yep.
And he's doing something in service of a higher power, in service of
Exactly.
something or someone else other than just himself. Oh, I want to get some ass. I want to smoke some weed. I want to drink this. I want to do. He's doing something in service of someone else. Not to say he may not have a drink here and there or smoke or whatever, but he's still going to look out for the youth, and that's a powerful thing, man.
Yep.
Boy, your hat look
Even
like them clouds, man. I'm loving that hat, man.
even just a small change of switching up your diet. That's a
Mm-hmm.
level of wokeness.
It
You know
Yeah,
what
is.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah,
You might have all the other negative traits. You might, like you say, you might still drink and smoke,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But even just saying, you know what, it's time for me to start eating better. That's a level of wokeness.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I always I tell my wife this. I said, And I know she's had a couple things to say sometimes. She's like, we stopped a whole bunch of this, and I miss chicken, and I miss this, and I said, yeah, I feel you. I said, you can eat if you want. She said, no, because I want to keep. You know what I mean? It's better. I don't want to make two different meals or whatever. And I feel what you're saying, but she always asks me like, about that situation, and I said, here's the thing. We may not be able to cut out everything because we're not in control of the stuff that they're doing, right? But if we can limit our intake on some of the poisons and some of the microplastics and some of the this, that, and the third, like, we found places where we can go out to eat and enjoy a meal that's not necessarily against our diet, but it's not necessarily on our diet either. But when we eating here at the house, which we do often, 7 days a week, we're eating the stuff that we know is best for us, that we have knowledge of right now, right? So when we do go out and treat ourselves, we don't feel as guilty. See what I'm saying? So it's like, do you just eat McDonald's every single day and you drinking and smoking and doing all this other stuff? Or it's like, you know what? I'm going to cut back on the drinking a little bit. I'm still going to smoke, but I'm going to change my diet up. You are limiting the amount of stuff that you're putting in. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it's got to be helpful because a microscopic amount of tar that you drink in your water is got to be better than a whole glass. See what I'm saying? And sometimes we just we get to a certain point where we're conscious and we're so hard on ourselves, like, man, I can't believe I had that piece of cake or whatever. It's like, oh, you've been doing a lot of work, man. You know what I mean? Give yourself a treat. It's okay. You don't eat it every day. And for some people, it's like they don't never touch it ever, and that's cool for them. They've gotten there, and ain't nothing wrong with that either. But we got to give ourselves a break. We got to be kind to ourselves, be gentle with ourselves. And ain't that like the Queen Dr. Sublime always says, be gentle with yourself. You on a journey, and that journey can be rough. That journey is rough sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like it's you versus you too. At the end of the day, you only going against whatever agreements you made with yourself. It's not really about nobody else.
Right.
Like you said, it's just everything is an access. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So yes, we're going to treat ourselves. Yes, we are here to enjoy ourselves. It's just like you said, not overdoing it. Now, you don't eat chicken for 30 days. It's not to say the 31st day you can't go eat no chicken. If you want to have some chicken, you have some damn chicken.
Right.
It's just knowing, okay, now we know how to flush our body. We know how to kill parasites. We know how to detox. So it's now that you can enjoy certain things where it's not going to harm you and kill you, opposed to somebody that never did a detox, somebody that never drink no tea, somebody that don't understand that much of this chicken is causing high blood pressure, diabetes, and a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really picking yourself up. If you want something, go get it. If it's calling you, let it call you. But again, you have knowledge to understand that too much of anything is not good for you.
That's right.
So that's why I don't go around and I don't put terms over me. Oh, I'm a veg. I'm not nothing. If I want something to eat, I'm going to eat it. But if I say I don't want it today, that's my right to say I don't want it today. I don't have to explain why. Right. Oh, you don't eat meat? No, I just don't want meat today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I love your saying, sister. You said, I eat what I eat when I eat it. Oh, I love that. I borrowed that, and I've been saying it a lot lately. I've been telling other people, too. Listen, I eat what I eat when I eat it.
Yeah.
And that's so accurate. That's the best way you could possibly, in my opinion, that's the best way you can possibly look at yourself. Unless you want to say, oh, no, I'm just on vegetables or I'm just on food. Yeah. That's cool. But some people are really out there beating themselves up because they like, damn, I really want a burger, but I don't eat meat, or I don't. Hey, listen, you beat yourself up a little bit too much.
Like, and our spirit
Yeah,
will
I
tell
ain't
us
gonna lie.
our spirit will tell us when to have something and when not. Like our body
That's
will
right.
tell us. They say don't eat chicken, you gonna know. You know I'm taking a break on chicken. Anytime I
Yeah,
stop eating something, it's because my spirit told me to. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So that's just that.
that's right.
Yeah, because it's definitely a struggle sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to eat a certain way because you're surrounded by garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Garbage.
if you, man. So if you into this diet, you got an abundance of things to eat around you at all times of the day. But if you want a more strict diet, it gets challenging. It gets
Yes,
challenging.
and expensive. 'Cause whether it's gas and you got to go out of your way to get to that place, or it is a whole lot of different factors when it comes to it. So, I honestly, I think we got a pretty good system here in the house, and we've been adopting a lot of different diets that has helped us, and and again, like I said, we go out, we got a couple places we like to go, and we indulge when we do go out, but for the most part we here and we sticking to it. But every so often we like, oh, let's go and enjoy a real meal, and you know what I mean. We still ain't touched no McDonald's or nothing, but that's not to say that it would be a bad thing. But we just, we like a chef that's actually standing over a stove, or a cook that's standing over a stove. That's what we prefer. I don't like the assembly line food, and that's all you get with the fast food. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't do fast food at all though.
yeah, I don't. We don't do it either at
I'm
all.
not doing no McDonald's. I don't give a damn. I'll
Right.
not
Yeah.
eat before I eat that. I'm gonna let you know that
That's
now.
right. And we haven't.
Fact.
We haven't. My son has never had McDonald's or fast food. None of that.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
know, he had a tomato one time, but that I was in the other room and didn't notice. And my sister, she was here doing our hair and stuff, and she gave him his cousin gave him a tomato off her sandwich because he asked for it, but he didn't know any better. I said, "Listen, no, what?" It was already too late. He had already eaten it, but you know, it ain't gonna kill him because he's never had it. So that's how I just said, I ain't gonna stress about it too much. But yeah, we don't eat fast food. We go to actual places where there's a cook back there making your meal to order.
Mm-hmm.
It's certain fast food restaurants I still do, but it's certain ones like McDonald's that it's just not gonna happen. I'd rather starve
Right.
to death.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember I had to go use their bathroom a few months back, and I feel bad even going in there to use it to do that. I ain't even want to go use the bathroom. So, but yeah, it's certain stuff that's just it ain't worth it.
yeah. I mean, there's fast food that really have a cook though. Like pizza shops. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
do make I still do
Sub
some pizza
sub
every
shops. You
now
know what I
and
mean?
then.
Those have actual cooks who are at the grill and they doing your steak and cheese. They do. You know what I mean? It's not.
Mm,
It's not going down an assembly line like Burger King. That's
mm,
that's just strange to me.
yeah.
That's always been strange. Like, and I worked at Burger King and Wendy's, and I just was like, man, I was eating it while I was there, but then after thinking about it, like, man, some of the practices we had there, man, damn. I always wash my hands, but none of these other people didn't want to wash their hands. And I'll be witnessing people. They'll be in the bathroom. Me and my son was in the bathroom at a restaurant. We wash our hands or whatever, and this guy came out of the stall from just going doo-doo and walked right out the bathroom. I said, Lord have mercy. Damn. That's some nasty stuff, man.
See.
But to him, maybe that's not nasty. Oh, well, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. I didn't touch anything. So, hey, long as he don't come touching my food, I'm cool.
Hmm. Sick, man. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Y'all ready to wrap it up for the week, family?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool, cool. Cause I'm ready to go make me something to eat right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Some
same.
noodles.
Shay, yeah, we definitely about to go and get us something. Gotta go pick up some groceries. But this has been a powerful, powerful topic, man. This has
Definitely
been
another
another
good
one.
Sunday. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure y'all
Um,
smash that like button, y'all, in the chats. We appreciate y'all, everybody in the chat. Please smash the like button. If you digging the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. We do this every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss out on Sunday dinner.
yeah, feel free to join us. Hop in the chat. Chop it up with us. Tell us what's on your mind. We all in this together, fam.
Yes, yes.
Together we rise. But I'll kick it off. I go by J Hooks the Great. Shout out to my tribe, my soul team, my soul family. Shout out to all the chosen ones, or again, as we discussed today, all the ones that's choosing to go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Um, Again, just sort of simple. Together we rise. We will break these illusions. We will break these curses. The way that the wickedness and the evilness that has been going on for these generations, it will come to an end, and it starts with all of us together. It's over with. I say.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah, it's the Oracle Empress Queen P. I want to appreciate everybody that tapped in today to get some knowledge, to be able to gain some type of new perspective on life and just moving forward towards being a chosen one and towards choosing yourself every day. Every day you should be choosing something that's going to help you elevate towards your highest self and your highest purpose, no matter what it is. And if it's depleting you, making you feel less then that's not the proper path or purpose you should want to be on. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Like, follow, share. And if y'all have some topics y'all want us to discuss, let us know. We'll discuss some topics for you guys. If y'all have something in your mind that you probably want a different perspective to, and then always available to give our perspectives to help shape your reality as well. It's the Oracle Queen P. I'm out. See you guys next Sunday. Peace, peace.
Ashe.
Peace.
Ashe. Yeah, I concur with the Oracle. Definitely put in the comments something. Make sure we can cover the topics y'all want to cover too. But we appreciate all y'all being here, man. It's always a pleasure. This Sunday dinner is only going to get bigger. It's only going to get greater, and we're gonna have a lot of different things going on. So make sure y'all tapping in and share, like the Oracle just said. And before I finish, you wanted to say something?
Sure.
You wanted to say hi?
Hi.
What's up, love you?
Hey.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Are you done?
Almost, buddy. So we appreciate y'all. As y'all can see, the time is definitely upon us. I am Speculum Ambulo, and make sure y'all remember to look in that mirror for the change you want to see, and love your journey. We this is why we do what we do, and our names really mean something to us, and we pray and hope that what we've said has resonated with y'all. I'm a little distracted right now, so we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. But peace, family.
Yes, peace.
Peace.
Y'all have a
Say.
great week on purpose with purpose. Stay present, patient, and positive.
I say.
For sure.
I say.
My dice done. Are you done now?